Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 4th to the 10th of February 2019. We begin the week with a dark moon in Capricorn. So this is a great time to rinse, to release, to really dig up anything that is undermining us, not supportive, and to let that go. So dark moon is a very powerful time, often overlooked as people rush to make their new moon's intentions. But the dark moon is our chance to let go, to release, to refresh, and maybe be a bit more inwards. Life doesn't have to always happen on the outward push. So very quiet energy there, with Venus moving into Capricorn as well. Venus is quite mighty in Capricorn because this is deeply rooted in the heart. So very deep, heartfelt, yes, productive, but really coming from a place of why would I want to get these results? What's the value of it? So deep inner gold there, with Venus moving into Capricorn for the next few weeks, where we can look at what really matters to us before we rush to manifest it. By Monday we have the new moon in Aquarius. This is 15 degrees for anybody that follows along in their own chart. And this heralds the Chinese New Year of the Earth Pig. So we're staying with the same element in the Chinese system. So we're going from Earth Dog to Earth Pig. So we can expect a continuum of that solidity, that slow and steady progress. And the pig for me is all about abundance. We immediately think of a farm pig, but in the Celtic system this would have been the sow, the female to the wild boar. And the mythology around the sow is that she has plentiful amounts of piglets and they eat abundantly on the beech nuts in the forests in autumn. So it's golden, abundant and nurturing energy that we're working with for the rest of the year. So if you've been following along with my What's in the Stars this year talk, which is available to buy, which gives the whole year in advance, then I've set intentions for each new moon. And I've set words of power, and some of my words of power for this new moon, which heralds a new year, are health, wealth and happiness. So this is a very abundant green and gold mantra that you can have to go with this new moon. But it is the new moon in Aquarius, right in the middle degree of Aquarius. We've got a lot of middle degree energy going on this week. And this means that in order to attract to us, we have to be responsible for what vibrations we're sending out, what frequency we're on. So through the month of Aquarius, I feel it's a great opportunity to clean up our energy field. Because we're manifesting to us quicker and quicker, and we'll look at this by the time we get to the weekend. But what you're attracting to you is a cause and effect result of what you're putting out there. So Aquarius's double zigzags are partly telling us that you're a giant transmitter-receiver. Electrical energy can be measured outside of the human body from the heart, and there's a different frequency for each emotion. So can you raise up your frequency in order to attract this health, wealth and happiness? Now that sounds a bit too easy, but Aquarius says actually it is quite easy, because Aquarius's tone is purity and simplicity. When anything seems complicated, it's because we've condensed a lot of wrong think around it. We've taken life too seriously and we've gone off on a tangent, believing the narrative of the fake personality or society. But Aquarius is the purity of the snowdrops coming through the earth, and that frisson of fresh energy and the vision, the excitement of where we're going to take this into the next cycle. So maybe in order to clean up our energy field, we can focus on purity and simplicity and raise our frequency, and therefore, like I say, transmit, receive, but receive all the vital life force energy of the new moon in Aquarius in the year of the Earth Pig. We also have Saturn at the middle degree of Capricorn, and this one stands out to me as being quite significant this week. It goes till the 10th, so all week we've got Saturn at 15 degrees Capricorn, so check your charts for that. And I feel that this is a very pivotal point. The theme of Capricorn is authenticity. We dig our roots deep, we grow tall, but we have to be self-supporting. And there's a sense of core strength and valour that comes in with the Capricorn energy, and Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. So we haven't had this for 28 years, 28 to 30 year cycle for Saturn to go around. So to really dig deep and fortify ourselves, strengthen ourselves, sustain ourselves in ourselves, and be very honest, is what Saturn's asking us, especially at the middle degree of Capricorn. And one way to do this, because Saturn's the teacher, it's really us teaching us. People have this strange view that Saturn's randomly throwing problems and challenges at us from outside, but Saturn is our own teacher. So one way to really dig our roots deep and to really stand in our own strength is to integrate the lessons that we've learnt. In soul astrology, we never play the victim. We always ask, what did I want to learn from this when something happens? And especially as we get to the dark moon, new moon, we need to integrate all that we've learnt. Take responsibility for where we've let ourselves down or cut corners or not made ourselves proud. That level of self-honesty, rather than pushing things to the side, being distracted or repressing, is how we can grow strong, tall and dignified. So integrity is the key word here, as well as authenticity. Capricorn is a very beautiful sign, very badly written about, but personally I love these qualities of integrity, dignity and authenticity. And with Venus and Saturn and Pluto all transiting through this sign, then we've got more than enough to grab hold of and to integrate in ourselves so that we can grow taller. By the end of the week, we start to see Mercury's last few days in Aquarius. By the weekend, Mercury moves into Pisces, so the theme changes here, and we're looking over to the Aquarian Pisces, Vesica Pisces cusp in the zodiac. And although we're under the auspices and the excitement of the Aquarius new moon, which can be a very mental buzz, high voltage, on Thursday the moon meets with Neptune in Pisces. So we have a balance here in our intuition and our dream world, the opportunity to dive into the waters of our soul, to feel our cellular intelligence and balance that with the mental buzz. So this is a really sacred space in the zodiac between Aquarius and Pisces, and we've got one foot in each camp for the rest of the week. So really look to that balance. Have you got the mental inspiration and insight balanced with your cellular intuition and feeling? Are you following your soul or what you think you should do in your head? So time to tune in there to what really is exciting us in the waters of our soul. Then the theme for the rest of the week is how we remotely influence the world. So with these vibrations, with the responsibility of Aquarius, knowing that we're sending out this transmission and receiving on that level, also know that we're having an impact on the rest of the world. So most people don't realise how much their emotions and their thoughts are actually leaving their body and either negatively or positively impacting the field of collective consciousness. So on Friday, it's the last day of Mercury in Aquarius. Have a look at what you're thinking, what you're sending out there, and then, and saying as well. And then on the weekend, as Mercury moves into Pisces, have a look at what you're feeling and what your field around you is emotionally and what you're attracting to you on that level, realising that we're manifesting ever quicker in these times. So there's a much quicker call and response going on here. If you remember the 70s or the 80s, things happened very slowly. You could put an intention out there and it might come back 5 years later. Now we're almost instantaneous. So the age of Aquarius is calling us to take responsibility for the frequency that we're transmitting, clean up our energy field, and if everybody did that in the world, then there would be no problems. So just visualise that. What if everybody took responsibility for their own transmission, for their own integrity, for their own authenticity? Then we'd be looking at a very, very different scenario. So totally exciting week really. Lots of activity in Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces, with a new moon in Aquarius starting a Chinese New Year, and almost a day-by-day guide there as how we can harness these energies to clean up our field, stand strong and tall, and to reach greater heights individually and as a collective consciousness. So if you'd like to have a look at where these energies are happening for you, I really do recommend that you start to follow along with your chart. It's not that difficult, and even if you just place each new moon in the right sector, then you can work much more personally with astrology. So I'm very happy to teach you how to do that in a reading or in a course, but do contact me if you'd like to explore your soul plan a bit more deeply and focus in the right direction for 2019. As I mentioned, the MP3 of my talk is available with intentions for each new moon and words of power, looking at the whole year ahead so that you can make an effective plan. And I'm very excited to invite you to two of my favourite monthly meetups. I've restarted them now. One of them is called Practical Magic, and every month we'll be exploring a different ancient art or craft. So that could be working with power animals, herbs, crystals, working with the energy body, learning a bit more about the moon cycles, all of those kind of subjects. And then, because somebody requested tarot, I've decided that that's such a big subject, I'm going to create a separate meetup for that. So once a month I will be hosting a tarot club where any level of knowledge, beginner to advanced, can come and share in a group. We'll explore different aspects of the tarot, and of course you'll get some insight and readings on the way. These groups are going to be limited to 8 people maximum, so there'll be 9 of us. So a very intimate and friendly environment there to study these beautiful arts. So please do let me know if you're interested in any of that. My email is zoehines7@gmail.com. My Instagram is zoehines7. My Facebook is @astrozo. And of course my website is www.astrozo.com. So those are the horoscopes for this week, and I'll see you next week.